Chrollo Lucilfer, a man shrouded in mystery, a phantom who doesn't even know himself. He drifts through life aimlessly. He carries a weight, a presence that demands attention. At the center of it all is the phantom troop, the only thing anchoring him, the only thread keeping him intact. Today we're diving deep into the layers of Chrollo, his identity, his role, and the symbolic undertones that make him one of the most nuanced and saddest characters in anime. Chrollo is, at his core, a phantom ghost. Scenes of him wandering through a broken down church, wearing St. Peter's cross, pondering, underscore the weight of existential questioning. He's someone who seems to have no identity, no clear purpose outside of the troop. The church setting isn't accidental. There's a visual metaphor here. Even in his leadership, Chrollo mirrors the solitude and contemplation of someone searching for the meaning in a world that offers none. His role as leader of the Phantom Troop carries layers of symbolic resonance. As a twisted echo of Christ with his apostles, the troop are extensions of himself, yet each is indispensable to the function of the whole. It's like they represent the 12 people who followed Christ in a sense. Chrollo seems almost indispensable, yet he even implies he could be replaced, which is paradoxical in nature. It's their existence that shapes him. The overlapping themes of morality, sacrifice, and self-perception are further amplified by his leadership. He thrives in the survival of the troop, yet depends on them for self-recognition, as he doesn't know himself. There's further proof of this, as when Gon questions him about why the troop does what they do, Chrollo can't give a clear answer, because he doesn't truly know himself. The troop are, in a sense, fragments of his own identity. Their actions, loyalty, and even lives reflect parts of him he cannot access alone. This self-reflection is mirrored in his Nen ability, Skill Hunter, which allows him to steal abilities of others. His power itself is symbolic, a man without a fixed identity, borrowing the strength and definition from the world around him to know himself. Chrollo's existential worth, or perceived lack thereof, further contrasts with Christ's imagery. He sees himself as having no value, even as a hostage, highlighting a paradox. Someone with immense influence of such a powerful group, yet eternally of nothing. The cross he wears, the broken church, the reliance on the troop, all of it reinforces the idea of a man who is both indispensable and replaceable. A savior of sorts for his own fragmented identity. Chrollo Lucilfer is more than a villain of a leader. He is layered, nuanced, and a character who embodies questions of identity, purpose, and the human need for connection. The troop are not just his followers, they are mirrors, anchors, fragments of himself. In examining Chrollo, I see a man who's simultaneously aimless and indispensable. A ghost navigating the ruins of morality and selfhood. And in that, perhaps, lies the brilliance of his character, a reflection of what it means to search for oneself in a world where nothing is fixed. Within Hunter x Hunter, Nen abilities can act as a mirror of identity. They're more than a combat tool. They're like a read of one's mind, how they feel, how they think, how they move. And going into Chrollo's ability, Skill Hunter, shows exactly what Chrollo's thinking and how his personality is shaped. By stealing the abilities of others, he borrows their strengths and skills, which only reinforces the idea that he lacks a fixed self, a fixed identity. Each stolen ability becomes a fragment of someone else, much like the troop themselves. His Nen is a physical manifestation of his philosophy, a man without a core, a man without an identity, living through the people and powers around him. Even his strategic combat, adapting, mimicking, surviving, reflects his ghost-like nature. Chrollo doesn't create power, he absorbs it, reflecting the existential truth of his existence. We could see this with his battle against the multitude of enemies. Back onto Chrollo's existentialism, it literally runs through Chrollo's every action. He thrives in chaos, surviving with nothing, sustained only by the spider, the phantom troop. Yet even in leadership, he questions the meaning of it all. Scenes in the ruined church where he was wearing St. Peter's cross captures beautifully. Chrollo embodies nihilism, yet he's not devoid of self-reflection. He contemplates life, identity, morality, elevating him beyond the standard antagonist. He's a man who knows he has no fixed self, and in that recognition he finds strange clarity, a purpose, shaped entirely by fragments of himself, represented in the troop. The Phantom Troop are not just his followers, they are extensions of his own identity, every member representing a piece of himself, and when threatened or lost, he mourns, as part of the Requiem, part of Hugo's Requiem. The troop allows him to navigate the world, to maintain a sense of self and to exert influence in a world where he otherwise drifts aimlessly, without the latter. His leadership style is less about command and more about reflection, more about ensuring the spider survives, even without the head. Chrollo's presence is steeped in visual and thematic symbolism. It only goes to show how refined Togashi has made this character. He's more than a villain. He's studying identity, morality, existential reflection. He walks through life as a ghost, yet alive, sustained only by the troop, borrowing power and identity from all around him. His nen, his followers, his silence, and his symbolism all point to a man in constant self-questioning. Just as I said before, a twisted Christ-like figure navigating morality, meaning on his own terms. Perhaps the most haunting part is that even as we watch Chrollo, he remains unknowable. He's a reflection of what it means to be human in a world that offers no fixed answers, in a flawed world. He can, in a sense, be reflected within us. He's unforgettable and forgettable for these such reasons. I'd like to conclude Chrollo Lucilfer and his massive influence on the Hunter x Hunter series, and by remembering all those different times where he attacked, both through the words that he wrote and his visual appearances on screen.